Tap pulled up. Tap pulled up. Good. And boom. We are live, baby. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Game On. This is Crick's Corner. I am your host, Crick from sportspicks.logos.com. Good afternoon to everyone, man. I got wrecked yesterday, y'all. It was a bad, bad day. We knew it was coming. Well, maybe y'all didn't know it was coming, but I knew it was coming. It had been running way too good. It had been way too pure for too long. I knew one of those clunkers was coming, and yesterday it hit us right in the mouth, man. It was a rough day on pretty much all fronts, man. We lost our multi-unit play in the NBA. We got reverse swept on the ice, and then college basketball was not much better. We did at least win one of our 2-unit plays to salvage a little bit there. Started off good, won our first one, but I hate that. I hate when I win the first one. I feel like it winds up being a real rough day when one of those early games like that. We didn't really have to sweat that one too bad either, but that was about as good as it got yesterday. I think I told y'all this morning on the morning show. I did recover a little bit, betting a little Shane Wright anytime goal at plus 340 last night. Got me some of the units back, but all in all, it was a real tough day, and I had a feeling one of those was coming. So let's say hello to our friends in the chat over here already, man. We've got Grass Guy in here. What's going on, sir? Good to see you this afternoon. He said, let's go. And then there's Bolshevik, my guy, Bolshevik. Good to see you, man. And Mott, good afternoon, Mott. Glad to see everybody in here. But we're going to try to find some winners today, y'all. Like I said, yesterday was pretty brutal. You know, you got to take your lumps in this stuff, man. It's going to be peaks and valleys. You're going to have ups and downs. We don't like to have too many days like yesterday, man. We were down just north of 12 units yesterday, minus 12.13 units on the day. So we don't want to have too many of those strung together. But we, like I said, we had a pretty good little run. So we are still plus money overall and all that. And, you know, we're gearing up for the backstretch of the NHL season here, getting ready for some of these teams being playoff races. We got March Madness coming up. NBA is much the same way as the NHL. It's all coming down to the wire. We're going to look at a few teams maybe that we want to take in some futures. I don't know if y'all can get this. My guy, shout out to my guy, Peter, over. I'm thinking of that too, Grass Guy. But shout out to my guy, Peter Storm, over at sportspicks.logos.com. And he always keeps me up to date on all the hockey stuff. He's big into the hockey. He always sharing articles with me and different things like that, trying to keep me in the loop there. And it looks like New Jersey Devils do not have good news coming today. You know, Jack Hughes has been banged up, and he's going to, looks like, miss some pretty significant time with that injury he's got going on. Does not look pretty for the New Jersey Devils. They were already kind of falling off, flattening out a little bit, started the season much like they did last year, started the season like gangbusters, and then kind of have just slacked off here after the All-Star break. And now you get the news that you're basically your quarterback on the power play for that team. Jack Hughes is going to be out now for an extended period of time. I don't think it looks real good for the Devils, man. I really don't. I was looking on DraftKings earlier, and I could not find it. They did not have it posted for them to miss the playoffs. But Peter had showed me something over there that on some of the books, they had them like to miss the playoffs at plus 750. I think if y'all can get the Devils on your books to miss the playoffs right now, I think that is going to be a good bet, man, because I think they, like I said, we're already starting to struggle with Jack Hughes out there. And now when you take that guy off the ice, he's an incredible player. You know, one of those guys that he's a point machine. He's averaged damn near 2 points a damn game the last couple seasons. So guy has been a big integral part of what they do. And now he is going to be out for looking like maybe the rest of the season. So I think the Devils are a fade going forward, man. I really do. I wasn't seeing good things out of them either before, and now you've got this news coming out, and I think it's going to be a bad deal for the Devils. So if you can find on your book for the Devils to miss the playoff and you're getting those odds around plus 750, like Peter sent over to me earlier, I think you jump on that, man. I was looking forward to try to bet it earlier, and I could not find it. So DraftKings doesn't have it up, but much probably because of this news. But if you can find that, man, I think you bet that. At least put your little half unit on it or something. But let's look at yesterday. Like I said, it was a disgusting day, man. We won that Georgia game, little 1-unit play, but Rutgers got absolutely smoked at Purdue. They were never, ever in that thing. They wound up getting it back to like 9. I think it was 9 at the half. But then Purdue opened it up with an 8-0 run in the second half, and it was never looked back from there. So we didn't even sweat that one. This one squeaked over. We had the under in this one, and Steps was on the right side of that one. It wound up squeaking over. It hit 150 in this one. So not much of a sweat. It should have got higher than that. They didn't score a whole lot the last couple of minutes, so it should have really went over much easier than that. But that was an L for us. This one was a I think an F grade on his Action Pro Report yesterday. We actually hit this 2-unit play in the Texas-Mississippi State game. They wound up Texas coming back and winning that one on the road at Mississippi State. Big win for them. But we did get the little 2-unit play on that one. Villanova, this damn Georgetown team. I think this damn Georgetown team going on my no-bet list, bro. because I've tried to rely on that team. I tried to have a little faith in that team several different times this year, getting 8.5 in spots, and they just get drubbed in that thing. And I finally go against them last night with what I think is a pretty good Villanova team. And they drop the ball. They go up there and they lose straight up to Georgetown. And so I think that Georgetown's going on the no-bet list for me. But that was a 2-unit play that we whipped on. And Villanova was even up by, I think, 7 with about 5 minutes to go. And it just wound up just giving it up, laying an egg. Thinking over in the Ducks and Canucks. I think so too, man. I think I'm going to take the Ducks money line, though. Yeah, but I am kind of like the over. I think we're going to see some goals in that one tonight. MGM has New Jersey miss the playoffs at plus 800. I like that, Bolshevik. I do. I like that. Worth a half unit anyway, man. Because, like I said, I think they are going to struggle going forward. And then let's see here. Yeah, see, we lost Villanova. Auburn got whipped. I should have thought about that one more. I'm mad at myself for that one. Yeah, especially after they just clinched the SEC, the regular season SEC, with Alabama losing at Tennessee on Saturday. It made it where Auburn you could not catch them. So they're going to win the regular season SEC, and I should have thought more about that. Going into this game, you got a Texas A&M team that was kind of desperate, really needed a big win like this because they had not shown up in the previous few games. Just got whipped down at Florida. Got beat at home by my Vols a week or so ago. Just not played well in these big matchups, and they needed this win much worse than the Auburn Tigers did. Auburn kind of probably on cruise control. They played everybody, but just weren't really emotionally and didn't seem to be in the game, and they got whipped. So I should have thought about that one a little more. I'm kind of mad at myself on that Auburn game right there, but it is what it is. We lost 3-unit play. Y'all know what Mama said. Florida State, Virginia, over, never sniffed it. Never sniffed it. I think I can't really figure these Virginia totals out either. I keep trying going both ways. I've hit a couple of the overs, but I think I've tried to ride that too hard at this point. Maybe they're recovering. And once again, playing a bad team in Florida State right there. I'm kind of mad at myself on that one too. But is what it is. And so we went up 2-5 yesterday in college basketball. Hit one of our 2-unit plays, but lost the other 2-unit and the 3-unit play. So we were down 5.19 units in college basketball yesterday. NHL, you ain't got to do much math in this one. We got swept. We got swept the wrong way, man. We lost every single one of those right there. We had the under in the Predators-Bruins game. They scored 1 million and scored a bunch in a hurry, man. It was never a sweat. The Blue Jackets did not show up last night. That line kept driving down. The Lightning are playing some good hockey right now, too. But the Blue Jackets got thumped in that one. Hurricanes and Red Wings was a 2-1 final, I believe it was. Never even sniffed that over 6.5. The Jets got beat straight up by the damn Islanders. They might go on the no-bet list, too. They keep zigging when they're supposed to zag for me as well. But the Jets lose straight up. We had a -1.5. The Devils and the Stars, under it was a 4-3 final, I think. And I thought it might be about time for another one of those Stars games at home to hit under. The last few have gone over pretty easily. I think it's a 4-3 final last night, 6-3 final the other night against the Blues. So those Stars unders that were trending under early on in the season at home, it's not the case lately, man. They are scoring a bunch of goals down there in Dallas. And then the Penguins and Avalanche, it was a 4-1 final, but that really didn't even get close either because I think the Avalanche, it was 1-1. I think it was 1-1 after 2. And then that Avalanche put up 3 in the third. I didn't watch it. It was late, so probably some empty netters, something like that. But either way, didn't sniff it. We didn't sniff any of those, really. Like, we wasn't even sweats the right way. We were just, like, if you'd have parlayed against all those yesterday, you'd have broke the bank. But we'll try again today. Y'all know my philosophy. You know my beliefs. We'll go back to the window, man. We'll go back to the window. NBA, we lost this one. Lost this one right here. It went over pretty easy, too. Well, hell, they scored quite a few. I think they were 103 at half. So I don't ever, like I told y'all this morning on the morning show, I don't ever like when a team, 103 would be right about halfway, obviously. And I don't like it when a team is halfway. I got the under, and a team is already halfway there at halftime because more times than not in basketball, the second half will be the higher scoring half. So if they're already halfway there in the first half, I did not like our chances in that one. Doesn't mean they're always going to get there. But Grass Guy said it seems like ever since the Four Nations tournament, almost every team is different than before the tournament. Yeah, you've got a lot of those guys. I mean, look, Kachuk for the Panthers was injured in that tournament. Yeah, so I mean, that was some hard, intense hockey right there. And I think it was a great idea as far as getting people interested in hockey, but some of these owners and GMs and coaches and things like that may not appreciate it very much because you do see like some of these guys came back from the Four Nations worse for the wear. You know, you had several guys had to sit out the first couple of games when they got back. Took a few of those guys a little time to get tuned back up because it was a lot of high emotion, high intensity hockey in that Four Nations tournament. So, yeah, it does seem like a lot of these teams are doing, and you always usually get that in an all-star break, man. It's a good little reprieve for a lot of these guys. Maybe even if you're not playing, you get to go back home for a few days, chill with your family, get your mind right and all those things. You're not in a different city every night. So you get a little bit of time there for a week or so to be able to kind of recollect yourself. You do see some of these teams come back better for it. Some of them come back worse. But, yeah, it's always a big time crossroads in the season for a lot of teams. Like I said, in the NBA, we lost our 3-unit play, but we hit our other 3. We had the Bucks Hawks over, wound up squeaking there for us. I think they wound up at 248. So we're on the right side of that one. But the Suns, golly, we were losing this one. I didn't even know. I checked the score this morning. I told y'all yesterday on the morning show, Suns were winning last night. I had no idea that they would do it the way they did because I think, if I'm not mistaken, when I was reading earlier, that was the biggest fourth quarter comeback in franchise history last night. They were down 19 going into the fourth quarter and actually got down 23. I think the Clippers scored the first 2 buckets in the fourth quarter too, but they're down 23 and erased that deficit. Durant comes back, has a big game, handles business, but they came back somehow and by some miracle wound up making our day not near as bad because they got the 3 for us, covered the 3 obviously with the 1-unit play and then hit the money line for us too. So in the NBA, we were actually plus 0.06 units yesterday. So not much, but overall in the day, like I said, we were down minus 12.313 units and then we're plus 11.05 units on the season for all those combined. I'll type all that up for y'all. I've not got my picks typed up yet. I just want to watch some of these lines move. But I have already bet a lot of these, man, because I don't think they're going to move too much at this point. We'll see. I was hoping Steps was going to be back home from running his errands to get in here and talk a little bit about the way some of these totals have moved in college basketball. But I don't think he's going to make it. That'll be all right. We're going to ride with it. And I did kind of flip-flop around on that Tennessee Ole Miss game tonight. I think I am going to wind up taking the under in that thing. Line right now sitting at 138.5. Under 138.5 is minus 115. I took it down to 137.5, get the minus 110. But I think that you look at the Tennessee games, and we'll talk more about it in a little bit, but those games against what I like to call the SEC West, you don't have the divisions anymore, but there's a lot of those SEC West teams. You look at those games, Tennessee's traveled out there, even in the ranked matchups and things like that. They have trended more under this year than in years past. So we'll talk about that a little more. Here's that first game. Let's talk hockey first, man. We don't have a big slate tonight. We only got 5 games. Maybe doing me a favor. I'm on a pretty terrible run. See, we were 0-6 yesterday, like 1-5 the day before, and 2-4 the day before that or something. I think I'm like 3 for my last 20 in hockey. So I don't know if that means you want to fade me or you want to turn around and just pile on everything I bet tonight because maybe we're due a good one. But I'll give you the picks. You can do with them as you wish. First game tonight on the ice. Got the Senators at the Blackhawks. Blackhawks are plus 1.5 at home, minus 135. Senators minus 1.5 on the road, plus 114. Minus 245 on the money line for Ottawa, plus 200 for Chicago. Total of 6.5 in this one, plus 114 to the over, minus 135 to the under. I did look at the goalies in this one. They'd already announced them. Doesn't look like Spencer Knight is going to be going tonight. You got a lot of hype with that kid coming over, getting a trade from the Panthers, and kind of rejuvenated that Blackhawks team the other night. They look pretty good in that thing. But it looks like tonight we're going to get Soderbaum and Olmark. So no Spencer Knight this evening, and that kind of makes me want to look at the over in that game, but I think I'm probably just going to leave it alone. I do kind of lean Blackhawks money line with you there, Grass Guy, because, they do seem like a team. They're obviously not going to make the playoffs. You got a young group here, but they do seem like they're building for the future. You got Connor Bedard, like I said, made the trade for Spencer Knight, and got some young key pieces there. And that team seems like a team that's kind of got a little bit of a boost right now. The Senators, on the other hand, don't look great at the moment. They did have the good comeback the other night against Washington, but wound up coming up short in that shootout. Bolshevik says, action shows since the Ole Miss bet 16% money, 18% of the projections is a 132.6. That's what Steps was saying this morning, man. That's a pretty big advantage right there. That's a 5-point advantage. Who are you talking about, Grass Guy? The Blackhawks, yeah, 1-2 in a row. Like I said, they seem like a team that's got a little bit of a boost right now. Seem to be a little bit rejuvenated, that young core group of guys. And then the Senators, like I said, they're one of those teams you're talking about, Grass Guy, that since the Four Nations tournament haven't really picked it back up the way they were playing going into the All-Star break. Kachuk had to miss first game or so after the Four Nations there due to, I think he was banged up a little bit, just kind of wanted to, and they probably needed a rest day or two. That guy was definitely playing some high-intensity hockey in the Four Nations, but they just haven't looked great. They came up just a little bit short in that shootout the other night against Washington, but got down big in that thing early against the Washington team that hasn't really looked great the last few games either. So I don't really know what to think about the Senators, and I think I'm with you on that one, Grass Guy. I'll probably lean Blackhawks money line right there. You get some good value at plus 200. It's set there pretty much all day long. like I said, total with the, I don't even know if you consider them the backups or the starters. I don't really know who the starter is for Chicago at this point. I think it will wind up being Spencer Knight eventually, but he's obviously not considered the everyday starter just yet. And the last 4 games have gone over 6 goals. That's what I'm kind of leaning the over 6.5 there, plus 114. I've got bid on a couple of those lately, though, man. I have the over 6.5. It'll be 2-1 damn final like that Red Wings game yesterday. But I lean the over in this one, plus 114, and I lean Blackhawks money line, but I did not make a play in that one ultimately. Next game, also 7:40 p.m. puck off. You got the Washington Capitals against Grass Guys New York Rangers. I bet them at plus 102 on the money line. It's down to even money now. It was minus 102 this morning on the morning show, so it's bounced around a little bit right there. But the Rangers seem playing some good hockey right now. And talking about the Capitals have been a little lackluster, and I don't know if maybe it has something to do with Ovechkin chasing Gretzky's record. Maybe they're trying to do too much to get him in chances to score goals, to give him opportunities. Maybe they're kind of taking themselves out of their game plan a little bit there. But I just know the last few games, we talked about them winning that one in the Senators in the shootout the other night, but still, that was a team, they jumped up, looked great in the first period, jumped up on them big, and then wound up letting them just chip away. So a team that doesn't really seem like they can finish games right now. And I like what this Rangers squad is doing. They seem to be motivated. They need to win some games right now. Washington's in a good spot. They're going to make the playoffs. They got several games up on, they're in the playoffs. Washington is. They would have to, I don't even know if they could just completely let the wheels fall off and miss the playoffs at this point because they had such a good start to the season. But the Rangers are a team that don't need to drop too many, especially a game like this right here would be a big win for them, a confidence boost too. And like I said, they played good hockey lately. So Grass Guy, both teams score a bunch of goals recently. See, I'm taking the over. Yeah, you had that Washington game the other day. It was like 5-4 in that one. And then you had a game before that they scored a bunch. The Capitals, I know, in the 2-game stretch there right after the Four Nations break scored 13 goals in 15 goals in 2 games, something like that. So, yeah, they can put up a bunch of goals. I think you lean over right there. 5.5 minus 130. If I was taking the over, I would go on to the 6.5. I'm not, y'all know I ain't leaning the minus 130 right there, but you can get over 6.5 in that Capitals Rangers game at, let's see what that is, probably plus 105 or something. Yep, over 6.5 plus 105. I do like that. But I'm going to roll with the Rangers money line tonight. You can get it even money right now. I got it at plus 102, but I'm just taking the hotter team against the struggling team a little bit right now. So, and it's been me betting against those Capitals a few times this year, so we'll see what happens there. But like I said, I'm going to roll with the Rangers tonight. Maple Leafs, the Golden Knights. The rest of the games are late, man. We got 2 pucking off at 7:40. Then the last 3 are going to be next one 10:10 p.m. puck off, and the last 2 will be 10:40 p.m. So late. I won't ever see none of these. What up, Papa Cricket? How you doing, sir? Good afternoon to you, man. He got his hoodie, and he said that thing fit perfect, Will. Just so you know, he said that thing fit perfect. He appreciated it. But good afternoon, Papa Cricket. Good to see you, sir. Let's see where we at now. Maple Leafs and Golden Knights. I like the over in this one. I do think we're going to see some goals tonight in this one. But last time I thought we were going to see some goals in Vegas, it was one of them 2-1 finals or something. So I just feel like the Maple Leafs are a scoring machine, dude. And to keep up with this Maple Leafs team, which I was kind of looking at the money line for the Maple Leafs, but it's moved out some. It was at plus 130 earlier. It's moved out to plus 136. And y'all's all telling me this morning, don't bet against them Golden Knights at home, man. And so that seems to be, they have been a very solid squad when they play in Vegas this year. So maybe you lean, I don't see the value in the minus 162 because I think the Maple Leafs is too good a hockey team to lay that kind of juice against them on a money line. So if I'm going to bet it, I'm just going to bet the minus 1.5 at plus 160. Hope for the empty netter if I got to have it. But I like there to be some goals in this thing tonight. Like I said, you look at a lot of Toronto's games lately, they have been trending to the over. And I think Vegas is going to have to score to win this one tonight. And they are favored. So I'm leaning towards some goals being scored in that one. We're going to go over 6.5 plus 105. Yeah, you fading that game? Yeah. That'll be a fun one to watch, man. You ain't got to have no skin in the game for that one right there. You got 2 playoff teams. You got a lot of star power in that game. So you really don't have to bet that one to have fun watching it. Like I said, it don't start till 10 p.m. So I probably won't never see that one. But I do like the over there. Expect some goals. Hope we just wake up in the morning and check it. 5-3 one way or the other. I'm going to take the Ducks money line. Little Ducks on Canucks violence right here tonight, man. You said you like the over in this one, Grass Guy, I believe. So you got the 5.5 at minus 118. That's almost worth it for you. This one you can put the 1 unit on the 5.5 minus 118, and then maybe go and take the 6.5 just in case. You get plus 125 on that one. I do like betting those 6.5s at plus 125. But I think I'm just going to roll with the Ducks, man. I think the Ducks are playing some good hockey right now. and went up to Edmonton last night. An Edmonton team I expected to get back home and feel a little bit better about themselves, but boy, they got shellacked last night. Ducks beat them 6-2. You could have made some good money on all puck lines with Anaheim last night. But I'm going to roll with them tonight. It was plus 190 this morning on the money line. It went down to plus 180 for a little bit and rolled back out to plus 185. This is similar to what that San Jose Sharks line did last night against the Sabres, and the Sharks wound up winning that one going away. So feels like a similar spot right here for the Ducks, and I just think they're playing pretty good hockey right now. So maybe I'm betting with my heart a little bit on that one, but I am going to take Ducks money line plus 185. I like this Blues team too. I was looking at those. I bet them to make the playoffs the other day at plus 900. It's all the way down to plus 550 now, so that's moving the right way for us. But I think the Ducks playing some good hockey. And the Kings just coming off that 3-game road trip where they did not look good at all. They got shellacked. I think they're on a back-to-back as well. They got shellacked in Chicago last night. And so I think it was either last night or the night before. But I do like the Blues tonight. I just think they're playing better hockey than the Kings right now. The Kings, another team that I might look at just to sprinkle, and I'd have to check the standings and all that, but just a sprinkle on them to miss the playoff. I think they're like plus 1,200 to miss the playoffs right now for the Kings. So that's why I'm leading this evening, y'all. I'll type them all up for you in a little bit. They'll be posted over at sportspicks.locals.com and over on my X at Cricket1414. Cricket is spelled with 2 T's. We're going to take the Rangers money line tonight at even money. Maple Leafs, Golden Knights over 6.5 plus 105. I like the Ducks money line plus 185 at the Canucks. I like the Blues money line plus 136 at the Kings. Once again, I am on a terrible, terrible run in hockey. I'm like 3 of my last 20. So do with that advice as you will. I'm going to take Michigan tonight in college hoops. We'll jump over here to the college hoops. This is an early game, 6:30 p.m. tip, Maryland at Michigan. This line's kind of stayed basically the same. It's pretty much probably -2 Michigan. It was at -2.5. You could have got it -105 for a while. Then it went to -110. Now it's going back to -102. The line's basically -2 Michigan. So I'm going to lay the -2.5 at the -102. And just look for a Maryland team that's been struggling a little bit on the road. Michigan can't afford to lose. I'd have to double check this too, but I know they're in a tight race with Michigan State for the regular season Big Ten title. And they can't afford to drop any more. Just lost to Sparty the other night. And can't afford to drop any more of these right here. So I think they'll be focused up, ready to go tonight at home. Maryland's a good squad, so they shouldn't have any reason to be kind of sitting there. They shouldn't be lulled to sleep in this one. They should be geared up. They know they got to show up to play. I expect them to be prepared and focused up tonight. 2.5 feels like a good spot. -102 there. Like I said, they can't afford to drop one right now. And they need a little momentum going into the conference tournaments as well, even if they don't wind up getting that regular season title. I'm pretty sure if they lose tonight, I think Michigan State would lock it up. So Michigan needs that win big time. I'm going to have my second 5-unit play of the year tonight on this one, y'all, in college basketball. We lost our first one. We bet it in one of these Alabama-Kentucky game, and it wound up they missed a combined, I think it was a combined 27 three-pointers and a combined 10 free throws, and we went under by 1.5 on that 5-unit play. So we're going to go back after them tonight and try to hammer. This was when we were talking about the reverse line movement this morning. It was at 176.5, I believe it opened at. Had a bunch of money coming on the under, and they still drove it out to 178.5. They're going to score 200 in this game tonight, y'all. You could probably ladder this thing out as high as they'll let it go and just sprinkle you little half units all the way up. But I am going to put a 5% play, or excuse me, 5%, 5-unit, whatever you want to call it, on the over in this one tonight. 178.5 -108 in Florida, Alabama. I think they're going to score a whole bunch of points in that one. Would not surprise me to see Alabama get over 100 and Florida to get 90-something. Probably like 106 to 95. I do think Alabama's going to win the game, especially the way they lost at Tennessee. Now, Florida did travel up to Auburn and smack them in the mouth earlier in the year, too. So Florida does travel. They play well on the road, too. They're not one of those teams that seems to get shell-shocked by the moment or anything like that. So it's not just going to be going away, but I think Alabama will be able to stretch it out down the back half there. You'll have the crowd into it. There'll be hype and all those things. So I do like Alabama as a lean as far as picking a side there, but I'm just going to bet the damn over, and I hope they score all the points. And I think they're going to score 200 in that one. So I'm going to have a 5-unit play on Florida and Alabama over 178.5 tonight. Boswick says, money line 40%, 52% of the bets and the money. Is that Michigan? Oh, Michigan. Okay. 40% of the bets, 52% of the money in the Michigan game. Okay. We like that then. A little bit of edge there. I'm going to take Kansas State plus 8.5. This one was plus 9.5 this morning at -110. It's probably still about the same because it may have been -115 on the plus 9.5, which basically means it's plus 9. But I like the way Kansas State's played, and Cincinnati hasn't showed me the ability to really separate at home or on the road. They're not a bad basketball team, but the fact that I'm expecting them to beat what's been a pretty hot Kansas State team lately by 9. I don't see that. You got a low total there, 136.5, so they don't expect a whole lot of points. So it's kind of tough to win by double digits when you expect that total to remain low like that, because I don't think Kansas State's just going to lay an egg shooting the ball. I don't really have a lean on the total there. The number's probably right on, but I feel like 8.5 is too many to give this Kansas State team. So I'm going to take the 8.5 for a unit, and then I'm going to put a half unit on the plus 360. There's enough value there. You put the half unit, you still clear 1.8 units profit if you hit that thing. So I like Kansas State tonight, though. I've been riding that wave a little bit, too. They won one for me the other night against a terrible Colorado team. But I do like a couple dogs this evening, man. I'm also going to take Oklahoma plus 4.5 at home minus 105. And then I'm going to put a unit on that and a unit on the plus 170 for the money line over Missouri. It's another one of those spots where you got a desperate team versus a team that's just kind of really can't improve much at this point. Maybe there's little seeding deals in the SEC tournament. We'd have to look at that because it's a jumble in the middle of that thing. But Missouri, as far as, not a whole lot to play for right here. And Oklahoma needs a win. They are one of those teams that are firmly on the NCAA bubble. This would be a big-time resume-building win for them, get another quad 1 win against a ranked team. So I think this would be one where if Oklahoma wins this one, they're probably in the field of 68. So it feels like they will be desperate tonight. It feels like the crowd will be rocking out there. And Missouri, just a little old-school rivalry between Missouri and Oklahoma anyway. So in those spots like that, I like to take the home team, and especially leaning with the points right there. I'm going to take the 4.5, put the unit on that, and I will put the full unit on the plus 170. Just kind of like I said, desperate team against a team that doesn't have a whole lot to play for in this spot. Then there's that Tennessee Ole Miss game. I am going to, like I said, it's 138.5 at minus 115. I'll take it down under 137.5 at minus 110. Michigan's down to minus 1.5. Yeah, it just depends on where you're getting at. Like I said, it's probably there. It is right there, minus 1. But see, that's what you got to look at right there, Grass Guy, because they got it minus 1. They just had it listed at minus 2.5 at minus 102, and now they got it listed at minus 1.5 at minus 118. Those are those spots where I feel it's basically the same thing. It's still basically Michigan minus 2, because you can go right now and get the 2.5 at minus 105. So it's still basically the same thing right there. It's just me in that spot. I'm going to lay less juice and hope they don't win by exactly 2 damn points. You can lay a little more juice to get the 1.5, but that line, it looks like it's moving, but it really hasn't. It's still, like I said, pretty much Michigan minus 2 right there. So we'll see. Like I said, Tennessee, that one, I'm gonna go with the under in that one. I'm gonna be mad at myself when this one goes over and land somewhere around 145 or something like that. Be like a 78-70 Tennessee win, something like that. I do like the Vols in that spot. I do like them. Ole Miss has not looked great lately either, home or on the road. And Mississippi State, a Mississippi State team that just got beat at home by Texas last night, did go down there to Oxford and smack them in the mouth, beat them by double digits just a couple weeks ago. And Tennessee playing much better basketball right now than the Mississippi State team. Ole Miss needs one of these wins, though. There's another one of those desperate teams that really could use this win. That line does feel a little small. So we know that the ranked teams on the road, favored by less than 5, have not done great this year. So that could scare you a little bit. That's why I'm staying away from the side. It feels too easy to take Tennessee right there. But I do like the under. If Tennessee doesn't run away with this game, then it goes under. That's the only thing that would have to scare you, is if Tennessee built a big lead early and Ole Miss, or if either team built a big lead early and the other one starts firing threes to try to get back in the game, trying to rush possessions. But Tennessee doesn't like to do that. So they like to get down the mud, get dirty with it, make you play their style. And if they're able to do that tonight, then I feel like the game goes under. What's up, man? How you doing there, Eric Condo? Good to see you, man. Said lurking while working. That's right, baby. That's right. Don't you work too hard out there, man. Don't you work too hard out there, sir. A couple other ones I was looking at. I was looking at UConn minus 3.5. It was at minus 4.5 a little bit ago, but this is another one of those lines just kind of dance around. It's probably more like UConn minus 4. You got the system play where you got the unranked team favored over the ranked team at home and all that. I don't think UConn's ranked again. I know they had a rough little stretch there, but pretty sure they're still the unranked team. Either way, it would be the lower ranked team favored over the higher ranked team at home. So you got your little system action there. But I decided to stay away from this one because you can't really trust that UConn team. And they're back-to-back national champions, but they fell off a cliff kind of this year. The only thing that made me even look at them is the old Dan Hurley there in March. He's another one of those coaches, kind of like Tom Izzo. You don't bet against in March, things like that. So they're another one that needs a big win right here and has a lot more to play for than Marquette. And obviously a tough arena. to go on the road, but I decided ultimately to stay away from that one. Wisconsin at Minnesota feels too easy. The 6.5 for Minnesota. I mean, excuse me, the minus 6.5 for Wisconsin feels too easy right there. It's set there pretty stale all day long. 6.5 minus 118. So basically, it's minus 7. And I think the pro reports or steps was saying this morning were a little odd. I just didn't. I don't know. That one's I feel like you're kind of flipping a coin, and somebody's going to probably win that game by Wisconsin. Probably going to win that by 6 or 7. And some people are going to get hooked. Some people are going to win it. Some people are going to lose it. Colorado and Texas Tech. This total's jumped around a little bit. I know it went down to 141.5, going back up to 142.5. Wound up being a stay away for me there too. So that's really all I'm looking at for college basketball. So we'll run back through them one more time. We got Michigan. I took Michigan minus 2.5 at the minus 10. I think I got it at minus 105, which is what it's sitting at right now. And then Florida, Alabama. I'm going to put 5 units on the over in the Florida, Alabama game. That's my best bet of the night in every sport all across the universe. Florida, Alabama over 178.5 minus 108. Ladder it up if you want to. Don't be scared. I like Kansas State plus 8.5 for a unit, minus 105 on the road at Cincinnati. I'm going to put the half unit on the money line plus 360 because it's good value there. You don't have to put the whole unit. Oklahoma, I like plus 4.5 at home, minus 105. We'll put the unit on that, and then the full unit on the plus 170 for the money line against Missouri. And then Tennessee, I like the under 137.5, minus 110. You can take the 138 if you want to. That'd just be bad luck, though. They land on 138. We'll pay a little less juice there. And then over in the NBA, let's see here. I'm going to take these Trailblazers tonight. Will told y'all this morning that the Celtics are covering this thing. And it was at 10.5 then. It's gone down to 9.5. And this is a scrappy bunch. I'm going to tell you, I get mad at myself. We talk about these things all the time. We got to take this team. We got to do this. Got to ride this wave. And then we don't wind up doing it. And we just watch them pile the money up for everybody else. I'm taking the Trailblazers tonight. Plus 9.5 on the road at the Celtics. It feels gross. Seems disgusting. That's why I like it. I might wind up doing a 2-unit play on this one because I do feel like they'll be in the game. Maybe I'll just put the unit on the plus 9.5. I might sprinkle a half unit on the plus 340 right there. I wouldn't really mess with that. I don't think. I think if I'm not mistaken, the total's been going down. That's why I need steps here. Let me know these things. But I decided not to invest the total in that one. I am going to take the Trailblazer plus 9.5. Feels like a lot. And it feels like a gross pick, which makes me like it even more. You got the Cavs, the Heat. This one has gone down a point, if I'm not mistaken, too. I think it was 12.5 this morning for the Cavs. All this stuff runs together, y'all. Sorry, I try to remember which way these things are moving. Some of them stick, some of them don't. But I think the Cavs were minus 12.5 this morning. Now it's at 11.5, minus 115. So probably sitting around somewhere like minus 12. And I'm just not touching them. The Heat are a much different animal on the road than they are at home, and not in a good way. They do not play well on the road. Kind of a shadow of themselves when they get out there. And you got a Cavaliers team that's been the best team, one of the best teams in basketball all year long. So I think that total's creeping up too, if I'm not mistaken. Timberwolves at the Hornets. I told y'all this morning, I think I'm going to wind up betting this too. I think I am going to wind up taking the Hornets plus 8 at home. As Timberwolves said, it felt kind of sharp this morning when it was at plus 9, and it's gone down now. This one just feels kind of weird. Timberwolves they played well the last couple of games. You got Ant back from his tech suspension and all that, but this one right here just feels like a weird spot. And now I see the line going down, makes me feel a little bit better about it. So this could be one I don't know if you mess with the money line or not. Maybe if you do, don't put no more than a half unit on it. But I do think more and more I look at it, the more I'm liking this plus 8 for the Hornets. Those are a couple of gross picks. There you go. You can parlay the Hornets, the Trailblazers, plus 9.5, plus 8 together. That's disgusting. It's a winner. I'm take my Wizards tonight, man. At home against the Utah Jazz, just because the Wizards should never be favored by 5 points over anyone. It went out to 5.5 for just a little bit, and I think it was minus 105 on that. But it's gone back down to 5, but still minus 112 there. So not a big movement. But I'm taking the Wizards solely on the fact that they should never be favored by 5 points over anybody. Not the way that team's played. What up, Cheap Pete? How you doing, man? What you say here? Bears couldn't wait 5 more days, 2 guards in 2 days, man. Oh, bro. Like I said, I haven't looked too much at the I know there was some NFL news coming out earlier, different signings, franchise tags, and yada, yada, yada. Ooh, I do see where it looks like DK Metcalf has requested a trade. And they're also, damn, the Seahawks are going to have to rebuild altogether. Looks like they're releasing Tyler Lockett. DK Metcalf wants a trade. See, they got Joe Tooney from the Chiefs to the Bears. Okay. Okay, so Bears trying to make some moves, man. They're trying to make some moves. Yeah, there it is. Trading for all pro guard Tooney. Okay. Man. How do you feel if you're Mr. Tooney? Going from the Chiefs to the Bears. Looks like the Raiders are expected to release Gardner Minshew. The Gardner going to have to go on to another spot, man. Oh, man. It looks like a defensive end. Hubbard for the Bengals. He's retiring too at age 29. That's kind of a surprising deal there. So, Andy Reid to Ben Johnson. Yeah, man. It's a rough life. Don't piss off Will. That would make him mad, wouldn't it, Grass Guy? Hot take. Chiefs don't win their division this year. I don't hate that, man. I don't hate that because I think the Broncos are going to be – they were surprised this year, and I think they're going to be even better next year. And but it's always tough to bet against those Chiefs too. But yeah, you're right, Grass Guy. Will would get upset if I was in here talking NFL. He wasn't here, wouldn't he? He'll pop in from the Costco in a minute. But back over here to the NBA, we're going to take the Wizards -5 tonight just because they should not be favored by that. It feels gross too. I got a gross NBA card tonight. I took this one over 251.5 in the Thunder and Grizzlies, and these hadn't treated me right. It was at 251.5, went down to 250.5. Now it's gone all the way back up to 252.5, and it's -110, so it still may move out even more. And this could be one they might score 300 in this dang game tonight. They really might. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. I have not fared well in these. I've been zigging on the zag there too when it comes to Grizzlies high totals like that. If I take the over, it goes under. I take the under, it goes over. So we're going to try again tonight, man. We're going to take the over. That's a ridiculously high number. And we're seeing it still go up a little bit. It scared me for just a few when it went down to 250.5, but it didn't stay there very long. Went back up to 251.5, and now it's already gone to 252.5. So still driving out. Probably some money coming in on the over. And can't really blame them in that spot. They should score a bunch in that one. Look for a big game out of SGA. It's fun to watch SGA and Ja Morant square off against each other, man. That'll be a fun matchup. That's one of those games you do not have to bet on if you want to enjoy it. If there's any NBA action worth watching tonight, that's probably the game. Just because you watch those dudes battling with each other, it'll be a lot of fun. In the Clippers Pistons game, I was looking at this one. I think I'm gonna back off of it, y'all. I was liking the under 219.5 in this one, and it's gone up to 220. Don't mean it's not going under, but I think I just want to leave that one alone. I think I'm going to trade that one out. I was looking at the under 219.5 there. I'm going to swap that. I'm going to wind up taking the Hornets plus the 8. And I may, just in case, sprinkle half units on the money line for the Hornets and the Trailblazers both there. So but that's what I'm rolling with today. Let's see. Broncos and the Chargers. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Brandon. And the Chargers out there. You got old Harbaugh being the second year, getting his guys in there, started to get his system in play. Defense was nasty last year too. So, yeah, could be exciting there. But it's hard for me to get excited for football when we still 6 months away from a game that means anything. That's why I don't like talking about that stuff. Will gets mad at me because I don't want to and everything. But I'm like, I can only be so excited about somebody franchising Sam Darnold or whatever, or releasing Gardner Minshew, or trading for guards and stuff. I'm not saying these aren't going to be integral parts of their game plan next year. It's not going to be, keys to their success or their failures or whatever. Not like it doesn't matter, but it's hard for me to focus on any of that stuff right now, man. There's way too many other things going on. And you got all that fake news and stuff running around. The NFL just got to stay relevant all year long. They can't let anybody else have too much of the spotlight. Well, they got to set their schedule up where they're going to have these certain dates that they think matter and all this stuff. And everybody's going to dive into it and get all invested. And it's a lot of fake news, man. It really is. So, let's see, Brandon said, about the end of the stretch where all 32 teams are hopeful. Yep, you're right. You're right. Before everybody gets to OTAs, they realize how bad the product they're going to put on the field is. But, yeah, everybody feeling real excited right now, man. Getting geared up, trying to make all the key moves. Think they're making all the right moves. And, they have a little bit of time for hope. Then the season starts and their hopes come crashing down, yeah. Some of those don't even make it to opening day. Everybody likes to be excited for the opening game, man. Some of those teams realize real quick they are in trouble. They didn't know how much trouble they were in. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But we'll see what you say here, your ass guy. He said, be careful. Don't piss off Will. I know, man. I know. He'll live. He'll have to get happy in them same pants he got mad in. So I'd much rather talk hockey right now. But only so much hockey we can talk here tonight. We will look, do see some of these lines for tomorrow night are already out. So we can take a quick look at those, see if there's anything we like right off hand. See, I can't figure that Red Wing squad out or that Utah Hockey Club. I'll tell you, that's a safe bet. I will not be on that game tomorrow. So y'all let me know what to take in that one. I'll ride with you. Blue Jackets down at the Panthers after just getting shellacked by the Lightning. Might be a bounce back spot for the Blue Jackets. I know it looks like Kachuk going to be out for a pretty good while. Me and old Peter were talking about that the other day too, man. I think that the Florida Panthers are still a force with or without Kachuk. Obviously, they're much better with Kachuk on the ice, but they're one of those teams I think got a lot of dudes. As long as Barkov and Verhaeghe and Sam Reinert, and you got Bobrovsky and between the pipes, man, Florida's still a force to be reckoned with or without Kachuk. So hopefully that guy can get healthy and get back for the stretch playoff run, try to defend old Lord Stanley's Cup. We'll have to see. And let's see who else we got tomorrow. Bruins, Hurricanes. I'm just a solid fade on the Bruins right now. I don't think that team, I mean, they got to win some of them. They're not going to lose them all the rest of the way, but that is not a team you can have any faith in right now. Do not bet them to make the playoffs. You can get them at like plus 400 or something right now, and I think they're just begging you to take that. That's a loser. That team is not making the playoffs this year. Winnipeg at the Flyers. Is that Flyers team? It's been a scrappy bunch. Winnipeg just dropped that one last night to New York. They'll still be in the middle of this road stretch. They'll get a night off in between. But I think I might be leaning Flyers money line early on there, and that one may wind up going down some. It won't go down too much, I don't think. But a kind of initial thought in that one is Flyers money line. Sabres at the Lightning. That Sabres team, another one's kind of struggling right now. They'll let the Sharks win back-to-back last night. So, in the Lightning, you don't want to bet against that team. Initial thought there is minus 1.5. For Tampa Bay at home, plus 120. That'll probably wind up going down some, too. So, you might want to get some value on Tampa Bay minus 1.5 there. Cracking at the Preds. I'll be at that one, baby. I'm going to be at that game tomorrow night with Buku right there. So, let's see what we're going to take in this thing. I know Buku's going to have us betting both teams to score in the first period. I'm going to have to bet it because I told him I would. The Shane Wright goal, but he scored it last night. I did cash in on that thing there, but I already told him he was going to bet it. So maybe he's just getting geared up. We're going to bet him first goal score tomorrow and everything. See what happens. But we're going to have all kinds of action on that Kraken Predators game tomorrow night. Don't even know what it's going to be yet, but I guarantee you we're going to pick all the goals. Look like we might have backup netminders in there. So hopefully we see a scoring fest in that thing, man. You may want to go ahead and, while you can, I think that line winds up going up to 6.5 probably. So if you think about a total, I hope I could be betting my heart in that one. I just want to see a lot of goals, man. So we'll see. Flames at the Stars. There's Steps, Calgary Flames. Go bet Zeri again. I can't believe he didn't bet that. Let me talk him off that ledge. Scare money, don't make money, Steps. Canadians at the Oilers. Oilers, can't trust them right now. Good squad. Probably will figure it out at some point, but I can't trust them right now. I damn sure can't trust them to minus 1.5 to lay minus 110 on it. What up, Buku? There he is, man. I was just telling him we were looking at tomorrow night's lines that are already out here, and I was telling him we're going to have all kinds of bets on this Kraken Preds game, man. Sharks at the Avalanche will be the nightcap tomorrow night, and you got to lay minus 142 on the Avalanche. Sharks, can the Sharks make it 3 in a row? Won the last 2, man. Won the last 2 there. So after losing like 12 in a row or something, I wouldn't bank that they would win 3 in a row, especially at a team playing as well as the Colorado Avalanche right now. So there's a reason that's minus 1.5, minus 142. But, yep, that's a little early look at some of those. I think early leans, I like the Flyers money line tomorrow night and Tampa Bay puck line minus 1.5 against the Sabres. But those are my early leans for that. And I would think maybe after all the damn goals the Flames scored last night, maybe the under 5.5 in the Stars-Flames game. But I keep betting those unders in Dallas, and they keep soaring over. So maybe get bit there. But I'm probably going to wrap this thing up, y'all. Don't have a whole lot else to say today, man. We're going to be back in the morning for your Sports Morning Espresso Shot. I will type all these picks up here in just a little bit and get them shared out for y'all in the next hour or so. I've got it pretty much ready to share. So once I get done with the show, I'll get them shared out over at sportspicks.logos.com, and they'll be pinned at the top of my X at Cricket. 1414 Cricket is spelled with 2 T's. But we'll run it down one more time real quick. In hockey tonight, I like the Rangers money line, even money at home against the Capitals. I like Maple Leafs, Golden Knights over 6.5 plus 105. I'm going to take the Ducks money line plus 185 at the Canucks. Ducks on Canucks violence, baby. And I like the Blues money line at the Kings plus 136 there. In college hoops, we're going to take Michigan. I got a minus 2.5 at minus 105. I'm going to bet 5 units on Florida, Alabama over 178.5 at minus 108. I got Kansas State plus 8.5, minus 105 for the unit. And I'm going to put the half unit on the money line. It's going down, y'all. Going the right way. It was plus 360 just a minute ago. So put the half unit on that. And then I like Oklahoma plus 4.5 at home, minus 105 for a unit. Going to put the unit on plus 170 on the money line as well. And I like the under 137.5 in Tennessee Ole Miss. It's listed 138.5. I took it down to 137.5 to get a little better juice on it. And then over in the NBA, I like the Trailblazers plus 9.5 on the road at the Celtics. I like the Hornets plus 8 at home against the Timberwolves. We're going to take the Wizards minus 5 at home against the Jazz. And I like the, that's still going up, y'all. Sorry, going up another half point. We like the Thunder Grizzlies over, I got it over 251.5. I still think you're okay at 253 because they really might almost score 300 in that game tonight. So, but that's what I'm rolling with this evening, y'all. I appreciate every one of y'all hanging out in here with me, man. Buku stumbling at the last minute. Grass Guy's been here. Eric Conda came in to see us. Bolshevik's been here. Papa Cricket. Make sure I didn't miss none of y'all. Now, Mont's been chilling with us all afternoon. We love that. But good to see each and every one of y'all, man. You know I appreciate all you guys. I hope we do a little bit better today than we did yesterday because last night was a rough day. But y'all know what Mama said. There will be days like this, and we'll recover. We'll be back to the window. Only one way to fix this problem, get back to the window, try to win some of that money back, man. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all. You and your beautiful families stay safe out there. Good luck in all of your wagers this evening. We'll be back bright and early in the morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 a.m. Pacific for your Sports Morning Espresso Shot. But until then, good luck, good gambling, and game on.